Bienvenidos al Medical Spanish Podcast. Soy la doctora Molly Merton. Through this podcast, I provide interactive audio lessons that teach practical Spanish for healthcare and elsewhere. In the upcoming months, you will hear interviews that I conducted while working with the San Pedro Spanish School in San Pedro, Guatemala. My 16-year-old niece, Sophie, and I just spent 2 weeks there in August of 2016. I highly recommend San Pedro Spanish School for those interested in a Spanish immersion experience. My friends who work in medical interpreting recommended the school, and we were not disappointed. First of all, the setting is ideal. San Pedro is located on the amazingly beautiful Lago Atitlán within the Sierra Madre mountain range of Guatemala. We often took lanchas or boats across the lake to explore and visit nearby towns. My teenage niece loved San Pedro just as much as I did. It's a relatively small town, muy tranquilo. People in town told us the population was around 18,000, but based on my internet search, it might be smaller, and it definitely feels smaller. We mostly got around town comfortably by foot, but occasionally used a tuk-tuk, a 3-wheeled motorized Guatemalan taxi. The tuk-tuks provided a thrilling ride through town and often a cheerful chat with the chauffeur. On the streets, you hear a mix of Spanish and the Mayan language Tz'utujil. The people are friendly, often exchanging saludos as you walk by. Many of the women are in traditional Mayan dress, so that beautiful embroidered fabrics surround you wherever you go. At San Pedro Spanish School, we studied in the tranquil garden or in the palapas overlooking the blue waters of Lago Atitlán with the breathtaking mountains as the backdrop. You will notice the songs of tropical birds during the interviews recorded at the school. While I worked on podcasts with my Spanish teacher Javier, my niece studied Spanish too. Her instructor was creative. Their lessons often included walks through town, comparing life in San Pedro to life in Minneapolis. San Pedro Spanish School arranged our homestay, which in my opinion was the highlight of our trip. We ate 3 meals a day with the family, and they included us in their day-to-day activities. We took part in the youngest son's birthday party. On the weekend, we went to the beach together and then shopping in San Juan, a neighboring town. And our host mother showed us how to make an authentic Guatemalan meal of pipián y tamalitos de chipilín. And it was the best pipián I've ever had. So, before I publish the first interview, I would like to introduce my Spanish instructor at the San Pedro Spanish School, Javier Mendez. Javier helped me coordinate the interviews and collaborated with me on the phrase review podcast, which will be part of the premium series. So now, a brief introduction that Javier and I recorded from San Pedro Spanish School in San Pedro, Guatemala. Okay, we're about to start a series of podcasts that I made while here in San Pedro, Guatemala, working with the San Pedro Spanish School. And my instructor, Javier Mendez.
Correcto. Encantado. Soy Javier Méndez, soy profesor de San Pedro Spanish School. Vamos a tener el placer de compartir experiencias de español con ustedes.
We have interviewed people from the community of San Pedro, and through these interviews, we are going to learn about the culture as well as improve our Spanish. Javier, ha sido un gran placer trabajar contigo.
El placer ha sido todo mío, Molly.
To learn more about the school, go to sanpedrospanishschool.org. And if you would like to see pictures of our trip, I have posted them on Facebook at Medical Spanish Podcast. Finally, tomorrow I will publish my first interview from San Pedro. I interviewed a woman who had chikungunya. Chikungunya is a viral illness that hit the Americas in 2013 and is transmitted by the same mosquito as Zika. We'll also cover Zika in later podcasts. So if you travel to Latin America or take care of patients who do, You'll definitely want to check these out. MedicalSpanishPodcast.com has moved to DocMolly.com. Here I offer both medical Spanish and Spanish grammar interactive audio lessons. For premium lessons, go to DocMolly.com. Hasta la próxima!